Earlier this month, 30 extraordinary women gathered in my living room, sharing our vision for creating an amazing 2014. There were women of many ages, races, countries, and backgrounds. Among the group were business and nonprofit leaders, medical professionals, authors, social entrepreneurs, artists, and educators. The remarkable thing about this group is that 2 years earlier, most of us were strangers to each other. The room was filled with inspiration, joy, love, humor, and of course, great food. This group, which we call like-minded women, was formed through the ripple effect. The beautiful image you see on the screen is from a photo of our group taken from one of our talented artist members as a tribute to our friendship. Jacob Koonin coined the concept, one small change can create a ripple that leads to greater change with profound impact. My very purpose and joy comes from bringing amazing people and organizations together and seeing what magic can happen. Whether you just made someone's day a little brighter, or on a bigger level, you brought people together who want to change the world, those relationships have huge power to change us. Bringing people together creates possibilities for wonderful and unforeseen opportunities to happen with each other and with an ever-expanding universe of possibilities. I deeply believe in the power of the ripple effect. It enables us to create an ever-widening circle of positive impact in our world through our relationships, generosity, and authenticity. By reaching out and making an impact on even one person, we can have profound positive impact and expand to touch and transform many. As the circles widen, so does our ability to create powerful change in the world. I was born and raised in the Boston area. My father, Bernard, was a school psychologist in the same school district where he grew up, and he also had a private practice in our home. Our home phone number and my father's business phone number were the same. That wouldn't likely happen today. And in case you're wondering, I'm the one on the right with the flowers in my hair. And yes, my mother did dress us as twins for way too many years. Every night, all the kids who my father saw at school would call in and report on their day to Dr. Bernie, starting around 6 p.m. And he would take those calls at our dinner table. If they hadn't done their homework or hadn't been good to their parents, Dr. Bernie would reprimand them loudly on the phone. We never had a quiet dinner. My dad served as a surrogate father to many children. Patients would also call at all hours of the night, and if my dad was out seeing other patients, my mother would take the call and counsel them. My father's patients also couldn't afford to pay him, and if they couldn't, he wouldn't send them a second bill. Instead, he would take payment in lasagna, homegrown tomatoes, or offers to mow our lawn in the summer or shovel our driveway in the winter. To my dad, the money was secondary, so we didn't have much money, but the world was much richer because of my father. My second role model and a hero in my life is O. Leonard Press, founder and CEO of Kentucky Educational Television, KET. Long before Khan Academy and Google and YouTube existed, Len realized the power of remote teaching to change lives. When he moved from Boston to Lexington, Kentucky in 1961, he saw a state where rural Appalachians were trapped in an endless cycle of poverty, often because of lack of access to quality teachers. He built an army of supporters and experts to advocate for creating a public television network in the state of Kentucky. Still, it took him nearly 10 years to get funding and support from the Kentucky legislature. KET then created the first satellite-based remote teaching system in the world and changed the lives of countless Kentuckians. Today, at 91 years old, my Uncle Len continues to cause the ripple effect and change the world. These role models inspired me to create my own ripple effect. I took my passion for creating relationships and I set off on a global journey. After college, I moved to Japan to work as a teaching fellow with the Japanese Ministry of Education. I was sent to a remote, very snowy part of northern Japan called Yukiguni, or snow country. I did not know a word of Japanese, and no one spoke English except my boss. I had somehow been selected for this program in spite of the fact that Japanese language proficiency was required. By the way, this is not a Bible. I carried this Japanese English language dictionary, this exact one, with me everywhere I went. In fact, I often ran back to the house because I was afraid to be anywhere without it. Even the English teachers didn't speak English, which greatly distressed and embarrassed them. So I had to put them at ease in my minimal Japanese. In Japan, subtlety and patience are prized characteristics. Certainly a challenge for me and my East Coast personality. But I was totally open to learning and embraced the opportunity for new relationships. I brought my American style of creativity and energy to teaching, and I honored the deep traditions of an amazing culture. In a society where rote memorization was a typical way for teaching, I helped my students see that learning can be fun. I made many huge cultural faux pas as I began my journey, but I counterbalanced this with my sincere wish to learn and reciprocate all the kindness and generosity that I received. By the time I left Japan 2 years later and moved to California, I was fluent, able to do all my business in Japanese, and in love with the people and country. I then spent the next many years in Silicon Valley, commuting all over the world. I led several US-based companies to launch and grow thriving businesses in Japan as well as in Europe and Asia. In each country, I had a sincere interest and deep appreciation of the traditions and values that each country had. I focused on finding unique connections that could leverage success for everyone. The result, I helped the companies I represented establish strong relationships and laid the groundwork for true partnership in each of the countries where we worked. I saw where the ripples could lead. The key success factor was to develop mutual trust and commitment in each new business venture and partnership. The ripple effect was in action. For the ripple effect to work, it's important to be intentional about nurturing the connections that emerge. I've discovered I must envision where those ripples can lead, and then be sure to connect people and see how they can be part of this powerful process. For me, by being open to where these ripples could lead, I discovered an expanded universe. On the personal side, it led to many new treasured friends and relationships around the world. For the work I do with businesses and nonprofits, the ripple effect is critical. It creates opportunities for exponential impact and growth. One of the most important parts of the work I do with organizations is to help them find partners who can help them expand their reach and impact. The goal might be to drive new revenue, increase services, reach a bigger audience, or help more people. With the connections created by the ripple effect, it provides a chance for these organizations to find new partners and advocates to achieve this. If those organizations had only chosen to look at just the first ripple rather than see the second and third ripple, they might have missed the connections that led to some amazing and transforming relationships. This is the ripple effect in action. So fast forward to San Diego, September 2011. I had moved to San Diego from the Bay Area in 2003 with my husband and children. I left behind the fast-paced life of Silicon Valley that had consumed me for many years. In the transition, I also lost my sense of purpose in many ways. No one would feel sorry for me. It all looked perfectly lovely from the outside in, but I was feeling empty. 2 years ago, I woke up and said, I need to take action. I needed to seek relationships that could inspire me and expand my universe. Those relationships could help me rediscover my purpose, or perhaps discover it was time for a new one. So in September 2011, I called one person who I wanted to know, but life had been too busy for us for many years. 5 years after not seeing her at all, I called her to ask for a cup of coffee. And it set off a chain of friendship and connections that epitomized the ripple effect. Together, we founded an organization that changed my life. Women love to share, support, refer, and help each other. Have you ever noticed that if you ask a woman for a recommendation on anything, they're very passionate about making sure they make the right suggestion for you? I checked out existing women's networking groups. None of them were a fit for me. For me, it wasn't about pitching my business or being pitched to. I wanted somewhere where the relationships were about honoring the talents and passion we all possessed and about creating greater good together. So in December 2011, Like-Minded Women was born. The rules were simple. We invited talented, amazing women who are friends and colleagues. The prerequisite for membership: you must want to make a difference in our community, our world, and in each other's lives. In turn, our members have invited more other wonderful like-minded women into our group. As a group, we inspire each other with a force exponentially greater than what happened individually. We have truly helped each other create more impact in our community. It is a 1 + 1 = 5 effect. People together are much more powerful than people alone. The ripple effect is in action. I know I am an extrovert. And for me, it is not a stretch to talk to most anyone. Okay, guys, my like-minded women table is over there laughing at that. I'm sure many of you think that this is far outside of your comfort zone, to reach out to someone you barely know, or worse, don't know at all. My advice, take a deep breath and go outside of your comfort zone, even once. Reach out to someone who may not be the usual suspect. They might surprise you. Make that connection. I promise you that you will be amazed at how that might transform your life. You will create your own ripple effect. While the example of like-minded women is obviously about women connecting, the power of the ripple effect is something available to everyone. Both men and women should seek the connections and relationships that can transform us. Another example of the ripple effect is the work of the San Diego Social Innovation Trust. It was founded 2 years ago to bring together all sectors of the San Diego community to collaboratively work together on social change. Working together, we can create a huge multiplier effect. The most powerful outcome of our work is connecting extraordinary people who probably should know each other, but for some reason hadn't had an opportunity to intersect. We introduce business leaders to nonprofits, educators to social entrepreneurs, military officers to county agencies, and all of us share a common vision for creating a stronger San Diego. It is amazing to see these people immediately realize the potential for collaboration. The results from that alone continue to create the ripple effect. The important thing here is that this principle is true for everyone. You don't need to create a new organization or start a new movement to find those connections. If you simply reach out and become part of something, anything that you truly care about, you'll see the power of 1 + 1 = 5. You will create your own ripple effect. For me, my passion is about creating social impact. What inspires you could be entirely different. It could be biking, cooking, volunteering, teaching. The list of possibilities is endless. What is important is to figure out something that will get you out of bed in the morning and make you excited to do something. Decide to be part of something you really care about and find people who share that passion with you. And then you need to show up and do it. So let me show you how my own recent ripple effect occurred. First, to start, you have to throw the stone in the water. If you don't throw the stone, there won't be any ripples. In the summer of 2013, I really wanted to get more involved in the San Diego nonprofit community. So I volunteered to mentor at Advance San Diego, an awesome pitch contest for nonprofits here. Ripple 1. I met Sarah Hernholm through a mutual friend at Advance San Diego. You'll meet Sarah later today. I love the mission of her nonprofit, WIT, Whatever It Takes, and I asked, what can I do to help? Ripple 2. Sarah formed an advisory board for WIT, and I joined. At our first meeting, I sat next to Larry Kesslin. A few weeks later, Larry and I had lunch. He tells me about his vision to create positive change in the world and about his work with UTouch, where he serves on the board. Ripple 3. Through Larry, I met Deb Plotkin and the UTouch team. I loved their vision, wanted to help, and joined the UTouch board. Ripple 4. It's about impact. I connected with 3 amazing people and 2 incredible organizations, all of whom will share their stories with you today. I am filled with joy and inspiration as I work with all of them, and so grateful that the ripple effect occurred. Can you think in your own life where meeting one person or an experience changed the trajectory of your life? Whether it be a job, a new friend, a new passion. Every one of us has these, and they transform us. It's the ripple effect. Wouldn't it be great if we could make that transforming experience something that happened over and over again, rather than just once? You can do that. You can make your own ripple effect. It doesn't mean you have to change the world. You also don't need to be an extrovert. Introverts have equal opportunity. Your ripple effect can be a small and personal experience, but it must be done intentionally and mindfully. It's important to look for it and be open to new people and new experiences that make this possible. And then you need to show up, both in body and mind. So how do you make this happen? I'm sharing with you 5 easy ways to get started and create your own ripple effect. First, you got to reach out and connect. Reach out and connect with somebody you've wanted to get to know or someone you just met. Maybe life has been too busy. Pick up the phone, text, send a message. Whatever it takes to reach out. Make plans for coffee, lunch, or a walk on our beautiful beaches. Carve time out of your day to get to know this person. See where it can lead. You might discover somebody who inspires you and who you can inspire in return. Find something you are passionate about and get involved. It could be a hobby, volunteering, fitness, whatever makes you happy. Meet people who share this passion. I promise you that shared interests create incredible connections and powerful ripples. Get out of your comfort zone. Connect with people and organizations who challenge your thinking and expand your horizons. This is what fosters growth and change. Ask lots of questions of the people you meet. Listen openly and ask them to share their stories with you. You'll learn so much from them and be surprised at what might manifest. And most importantly, be open to new people and new experiences. Look for ways you can empower those you can connect with. They will return it tenfold. I promise you the ripple effect will change your life if you let it. In closing, Mother Teresa said it best. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. Thank you.